I'm delighted to welcome today Dorothy Knauss, all the way from Delaware in the United States. Welcome, Dorothy.
Elaine, thank you for having me. I am super excited to be here.
Fabulous. So today we're going to be talking about vibrant longevity.
My
So,
favorite topic.
okay, what do you mean by vibrant longevity?
Well, yeah, it's a great question. So what does that really mean? To me, it's like engaging in life. It's having energy. It's being free of pain, and being free maybe of those dangerous medications. I watched my mom age, and I dedicated to helping others age well, because sometimes it's not real pretty if you don't take care of yourself early.
Talking about mothers, I used to see my mother looking back at me in the mirror. I'm now seeing my grandmother, how I remember my grandmother, because my hair's grey and hers was similar, and I'm getting more and more, as we age. But I'm quite happy. 65. I think I'm wearing quite well considering. But we can
Well,
all do
and
better.
we're both the same age. And yes, I see my mom slowly looking back at me in the mirror as well.
Yeah, I've
It's funny
noticed.
how that happens.
Yeah, I noticed when my mum was about 65, she started having lines and things, which previously she hadn't. And I'm exactly, it's almost like I turned 65 and then these lines have appeared. So tell us about your way of reducing the lines, because I think I'm going to have to take you up on this at some stage. So redox, something about redox. What's that all about?
Well, absolutely. So I was blessed to learn about these magical little molecules that actually go in your body, and they help your body repair and replace and rejuvenate at a much more efficient level. As we age, our body makes something called redox signaling molecules. And these redox signaling molecules are very, very powerful, but we start making 10% less every single decade. So by the time we're in our middle ages, like you and I are, Elaine, we're working with half of what we worked with, you know? And if you think about it, a 40-year-old and a 20-year-old and a 5-year-old, if all of them fall off their bike, they're all going to have different recoveries. You and I fall off our bike, we're probably not going to be in amazing, great shape the next day. You know, whereas if a 5-year-old falls off its bike, they're up and running again. So, and it's because of these molecules. These molecules are native. We're born with them, and they're there to keep us healthy and strong. But with toxins and age and all the other things we do to our bodies get less efficient and they make less of these. So we found a way, our company, to make them. They said for 20 years it was impossible to make, but we had some pretty fabulous scientists that figured out a way to make these molecules. You can put them back in your body, and it just gets your body to heal faster. So, or, kind of it's giving the body the tools so it can do what it's supposed to do.
That sounds brilliant. And so are we talking about a supplement, taking a supplement?
So yes, it is in a supplement form. And we have it in a liquid form, and we have it in a topical gel. And that's the magic that works for the wrinkles on the face. And an interesting story, for 5 years, we just had it in the liquid, and we would spray it on our faces, and people would say, wow, what are you doing? And so then they decided to put it into a gel. And that's another story, because it not only fixes fine lines and wrinkles because it's helping your skin rejuvenate faster, but it also really helps with discomfort. And that was something we weren't really expecting, because it increases blood flow. And we've measured it so that we have a scientific study that shows that it increases blood flow by 55%. So that's why people can be free of pain if you have a knee or a shoulder or, various other things that hurt as we age. So, and I love it because you're not taking dangerous medications, which are easy to do. It's easy to just pop in an ibuprofen, but that's not really doing your body long-term really good.
No, absolutely. Because we know, you and I know, lots of the public don't know that every drug has a side effect, and then you take another drug because of the side effect of the first one, and so it goes on. People come to me, it's not unusual for them to be on 7, 8, 9 medications. No wonder they're feeling bad because of all the side effects. It's terrible.
Well, and then sometimes those medications interact with each other,
Yes.
and it makes it just for a tumbling problem,
Yeah.
and then they really don't feel good. They took one thing to fix something, but then it really didn't fix it. It just maybe masked it. So
Exactly.
that's the magic. The magic of this is it gives the bodies the tools it needs, so that it has the power to fix itself.
So what's it made of?
A great question too. So your body, as you know, we don't have a lot of different things in our body. So we have water and we have salt. We have sodium chloride. So we take water and salt, and we put it through a 3-day patented process. It takes our body nanoseconds to produce these molecules, but it takes us 3 days. So we take salt and water, and they break the molecules apart, and they turn into 16 other molecules. So in our bottle of our supplement, people think, oh, would I be taking too much salt if it's made of salt and water? But there's really not a lot of salt left because the molecules are recombined into 16 other molecules. And they're the magical molecules that are, turning our genes on. That's one of the big things that they do. They turn genes back on. So, which there's countless possibilities when your genes are turned all back on.
Cool. So we drink the water, so we're healing from the inside out, and then we use the gel topically to put on our faces and then the other places where we've got aches and pains.
Exactly. We need it in a gallon jug, as we say. Can we have it in a gallon jug?
We shower in it every morning. So
Yeah,
how did you
exactly.
get into this, Dorothy?
That's a good question. Let's see. My mom, she was always into health, and she actually had some serious digestive issues that were very debilitating, and she had those for 77 years. And one of her friends knew about it and said, look, I heard about this product that really helps people from A to Z. And we know that it increases health by 31%. He said, why don't you give this a try? And miraculously, my mom, within about 3 to 4 weeks, she did not have to know where her bathroom was anymore. And she could eat a lot more foods that she typically had to avoid. So it really was life-changing for her. And it was kind of a miracle. I mean, when you're allergic to yourself, which is what I called her, she had to be very, very careful. She never went out to any restaurants that she didn't talk to the chef. So because of that, we mostly ate at home and ate very cleanly. But she's still in trouble. But this really made a big difference for her. So I paid attention, and here I am 13 years later.
Wow, amazing. So
Yeah.
when we were talking before we came on camera, you can give us some examples of stories of what's happened to some people. Can you want to give us some examples? So real life people that you know of, these are they?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So there's a sweet lady. Her name is Pat. She lives about 2 hours south of me. She was diagnosed with a really serious memory issue, and it was in her family, and it was always very, very early onset. She was 56, and she would not know where she was. If she drove to Walmart, she wouldn't be able to get home. She would stand in front of the refrigerator for a really long time and not get anything. She would really not have the right words to communicate. She has been taking our supplement for 13 years now, and she has kept that at bay. She communicates really well. She still's driving. She's literally written 4 books, Elaine. And so, the person that introduced this to her has a plaque in his office that says, "Thank you for saving my life."
Wow.
Because, it's pretty nice if you can have 13 extra years. And that's what I call vibrant longevity. You know, it was just a life-changing thing for her. So
Brilliant. Absolutely
yeah,
brilliant.
and she has in turn helped a lot of other people with similar challenges. So that's one. My other one is a really good friend of mine whose husband was very lethargic. He was in a lot of pain. He had no muscle mass. And they found out when they took him to a nutritionist that he had type 2 diabetes undiagnosed. And not that our product does anything for curing or treating any conditions. It just really is giving the body the tools to heal, to do what it naturally does. And even though his, A1C was regulated and his blood sugar was in good shape, he still was in excruciating pain. He was going to a pain doctor to get shots in his hips, and he still had no energy whatsoever. So even though he was getting the right nutrition, it wasn't really getting to the cells. So our product tended to be the missing link for him. And in 5 days, his energy started coming back. And in like 6 weeks, he no longer had to go to the pain specialist. And that was 6.5 years ago. So he is still not on any medications, and he has energy. He bikes, he kayaks, he fishes, he does all kinds of fun stuff, and he's 6 years older. So
Wow.
that's fun.
Brilliant.
And then there was a 24-year-old who was in a serious car accident. She did everything the doc said for 2 years, and she still was in a dark room. She couldn't really communicate very well. She lost her job. She was very depressed. Her brain just did not come back to life as it could have or should have, or we hoped for. And the doc said, "This is your new normal. You're just going to have to figure this out." And she was very, very skeptical, but her mom heard about this from her yoga instructor. And she said, what do you have to lose? Your quality of life right now is not very good. She couldn't hold a job down because she couldn't be really with any kind of stimulation or any kind of light. And it took a little bit. It took about, I think she says, 2 months. And she kept thinking, this is a waste of time, and my parents are wasting their money, and why would I be doing this? But that was 8 years ago. She is now our biggest spokesperson, as you can imagine. She has her life back. She has a boyfriend. She has a house. She has a very, very full life. And because this product is native, it passes the blood-brain barrier. And so we have lots and lots of great stories of people with any kind of brain challenges, which technically I told you too. I guess they're pretty, I've always valued my brain. So I love those brain stories, because if you have your brain, you can do a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. What do you mean by native?
Because blueberries are natural, right? But these molecules, since we were born with them and they're in our body, they're native. They're already in our body. So when our body gets them, whether you are a baby that was just born or you're a 95-year-old, our body says, yeah, I know what to do with these. They're very easily assimilated and used.
Okay. Dorothy, what did you do before your mum was introduced to this product? What's it actually called? Is Redox the name of the product?
The product is actually called ASEA Redox cell supplement. So it's actually a supplement that's getting your cells to perform their jobs more efficiently. So what did I do first? I for 1 year I was a teacher because I love making a difference for others. The income wasn't so great, so I moved to being in outside sales for a large office supply company, and I did that for 38 years because it's fun helping. Yeah, it's fun helping others. But this is really my passion. My passion evidently is health and helping others. So I love just making a difference in people's lives, because this product we know changes your health by 31%. We know that it can change your immune system, your inflammation response, your digestive, there's my mom's story, the hormonals, and it also helps your cardiovascular system. So they're pretty good systems that I want firing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah.
Talk to us about hormones. How does it have an impact on hormones?
So I'll just give you some practical examples because, people have challenges with mood, and they have challenges with menopause, and their symptoms tend to be a lot more even and less. I'll just put it that way. We just know that it turns these positive gene pathways on because the pathways that it does work on lead to like 15 other pathways. And one of them is the hormonal pathway. So we even have some ASEA babies, because if your hormones are firing correctly and they're balanced and they're doing well, miracles happen.
Right, it's wonderful. And where do people get hold of this? How can people contact you, Dorothy?
So they need to, for contacting me, I'm very active on LinkedIn. So you can find my Dorothy Knauss, and my last name is spelled Knauss. And you can also, I can give you my email address. That might be a good way. So that is my first initial, D as in Dorothy, T is my middle initial as in Thomas, and then my last name, KNAUSS, and that is at comcast.net.
Cool. Marvelous. And can people get this anywhere in the world?
So that's a great 33 different countries where, we actually added one this week. So we're in 34 countries. We just added China this week.
Oh.
So that's exciting because there's certainly a lot of people in China. Some areas of the world are very, very into natural health. And so it's fun when you can make a difference there.
Yeah, that must be a first, us sending something to China. Goodness.
Yeah.
It normally works the other way around, doesn't it?
Fabulous. Oh, yes. Most of the things in my house, I think, are from China.
Fabulous. So vibrant longevity, if you want to get vibrant longevity, I can't even say it, we need to get onto this product. I don't normally do podcasts that promote a product, but this is so good. I really wanted to talk to you about it. Is there anything else that listeners need to know about this product?
I don't know that I said that it doesn't have any counterindications with any medications. It's 100% non-toxic, which is really unheard of. Usually supplements have some kind of toxicity, right? So those two things, I think, so it's 100% safe. So I love that part. I love that it can really only help people. It can't ever really hurt people. So there's really no risk at giving this a try. What else did I want to say? I think that's good. It's really about prevention. If you think about it, we only get one body. And I think some of us might take care of our cars a little bit better than we do our body, right? Yeah. If you knew you were going to have your car now for next, 30 or 40 years, we take care of it. We change the oil, we clean it up, we do all that kind of stuff. So that's what I really look at this as, is what are you doing for maintenance for your own body? And we know that sleep, there's 5 pillars of health that are really good, right? Sleep, stress management, hydration, nutrition, and movement. And if you put this at the foundation of all of those, it gets all of those to work a lot better. And that's what our experience is, because we know our body needs a lot of water, so our brains can work and our muscles can work. We know our bodies need a lot of movement. We know that sleep is where the magic happens with repairing and replacing things. We know that stress is one of the biggest problems with inflammation and can really make a problem with the body. And we all know nutrition is good. Oh, that's a really great thought. One of the nutritionists who we partnered with, she tells people, I can get your body and your blood in really good shape in a year eating correctly. But I can get your body in really good shape in 6 or 8 weeks if we do these two things together. So, you know, what program would you like? Would you like to wait a year, or would you like to get this, you know, quicker? So together, nutrition and this supplement work really well.
Brilliant, brilliant, excellent. And just say your email again, please, Dorothy.
So it's D as in Dorothy, T as in Thomas, and then my last name, KNAUSS as in Sam, because sometimes S's sound funny, at Comcast.net.
And you're also on LinkedIn.
I am on LinkedIn. Yes, I love LinkedIn. It's my new favorite place to play.
Are you on
It's
any
fun
other
because you can
platforms?
really educate. I am on Instagram and I am on Facebook, so I'm sure you can find me. Facebook, I have my maiden name in there, so you'd have to put in Dorothy Tynan, which is the Tynen. And I'd love to connect with people any way that works for them.
Marvelous.
So,
thank you so much.
well, I appreciate the platform, and I know you're doing a lot of really amazing work with people because you understand the value of health and well-being, right? And there's lots of good ways to do that. So this is just one little way to do it. So
Marvelous.
I appreciate telling people that they can have better energy and better digestion, and it's pretty simple.
Fabulous. Vibrant longevity. I love that phrase. Really good. Here's
Thank
to
you.
vibrant longevity for us all. Thank you, Dorothy.
Yes, here, we'll toast with water, right?
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.